I can't believe I finally get to say this, but today we're going to be playing the Black Ops 6 beta. Now, we're going to have this video divided up into a couple of sections, and I'm going to be sure to include timestamps down in the description so then you guys can kind of just like skip to whatever parts you actually want to see. The first part of this video is going to be centered all around the gameplay, you know, like actually showing off gameplay, giving my thoughts and impressions of the game so far, stuff like that. And then later on, we'll get into some of the nitty-gritty stuff, whether that be stuff that comes with the Vault Edition of the game, the stuff that you can actually unlock during this first weekend of the beta, some stuff that is exclusive to this first weekend of the beta, and everything else similar. So first things first, here we are on the map Skyline. We are playing the mode Hardpoint, and right off the rip, one thing I want to say about this game is that it is absolutely beautiful between the graphics and the art style, because, you know, most times when you look at Call of Duty, a lot of people think, oh, you know, it's just going for like a realistic type of thing, but while, yes, that's kind of true, Call of Duty, some of the Call of Duty games at least, do go for a particular art style, especially, and I should say specifically, the Black Ops games. If you look at a game like, I don't know, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, I'm talking about the 2022 and 2023 versions, yeah, you know, they more or less just kind of go for that realistic style. But when you look at a Black Ops game, whether that be like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 6, Black Ops Cold War, there's something bugged with my loadout right now. As you can see, if I go into the menu, when I tried to swap over to the Scourge, which is like the special blueprint for the weapon, it just isn't working. It's giving me, I understand why this happened in the first place, because I was using just like a base Jackal PDW thing on another class, and then I guess it just kind of glitched out. What if I switch over to this class? Wait, why is it not even, wait, what class am I even using right now? Is this a default class? Okay, so for some reason, even though I try to switch classes, it's kind of making me use a default class, so there is, you know, some growing pains here. It is a beta, there is some glitches that are gonna need to be ironed out before the full game launches, but anyway, as I was saying before, when you look at these Black Ops games especially, like, there is a defined art style that they go for, where it's a bit more vibrant, and there's just a bit more life injected into the quote-unquote realistic side of the art style. First thing I gotta say about this beta and just this game as a whole is that it feels incredible to play. As soon as you start playing the game, it's almost immediately, like, you immediately understand the movement, how it's supposed to work, how it's supposed to flow. Like, you get in, and, you know, normally in Call of Duty, you run and you use the stick to look around, but in this game, there's a lot more dynamicism to it, to where, you know, you can run in any direction, you can run forward, sideward, diagonally, like, you have the full 360 directions of movement, you can dive in any direction, and one thing that I'm glad that they took into account while they were designing the movement is that when you dive, you're locked into a direction of dive, but not in terms of where you can look. So, to explain this in the simplest ways possible, right? So like when you go to dive, you can turn around and do like a full 180 as you dive, but in terms of where your character is actually going to land, that is already defined the minute that you click the button. So like when you dive, if you dive forwards, you can't just adjust it and then start diving to the right, you know what I mean? Like, you can adjust where you're looking, but you can't adjust where you're going. Obviously, realistically speaking, that makes sense, but it's like a very easy thing that they could have easily like overlooked. And let's just say that I'm very glad that they didn't overlook that, because that could have easily been abused. No, let me get under the door, please. I want to get to the hard point. One cool feature in this game is that you're technically allowed to have 3 weapons in every class now, so you're gonna have your primary, your secondary. Overkill is also back in this game, so if you're on that wild card, then you can obviously use like 2 primary weapons in a class, but if you hold down the melee button, then you'll pull out your melee weapon, and yeah, essentially, rather than being like, okay, in this class, am I gonna have a sniper and a pistol, a sniper and another primary, or a sniper and a melee? Now it's just like, okay, I'm gonna have a sniper and then one of my secondaries, and then no matter what you're looking at in your class, you can always have that melee on hand, which I feel like is a nice middle ground between having to choose between, okay, am I gonna go melee weapon, or am I gonna go with an actual bullet weapon? Also, if you're new to this channel, and if you're wondering why I'm not absolutely sweating my sack off trying to get the best gameplay, it's because when I'm talking, I'm focused on talking. When I'm playing, I'm focused on playing. When I'm trying to do both, I mean, both are probably gonna struggle at least a little bit. That's just how it is. That's my ADHD. I can't help it. Some people are great at multitasking, but with ADHD, I have troubles even single tasking. You know what I mean? In a more laid-back game like Cut the Rope, I can do it no problem, but in something as intensive as Call of Duty, and then when you stack on things like SBMM and just how sweaty players are nowadays in general, yeah, there's only so much I can do here. Outside of that, I mean, I really don't know what else to say about this game. I mean, it feels like a beautiful blend of both old and new Call of Duty in various different ways, whether that be the actual gunplay, the movement, the progression and such. I mean, obviously we don't have a full sense sense as to what the progression is going to be like, because this is just the beta. For the first weekend, the level cap is 20, so we don't even have the full level cap, which is going to be 30, and that'll unlock for the second weekend, which will be a complete open beta weekend. So regardless of whether you pre-order the game or not, you'll be able to play at the same time as everybody else for weekend 2. During this first weekend, don't quote me on this, but I believe it's only the first couple of days that are exclusive to the people that pre-ordered the game or have Game Pass Ultimate, and then there should be an open period during this beta weekend. But again, do not quote me on that because I'm not 100% on that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of getting frustrated. Am I not gonna be allowed to use my classes in this match? I mean, you can see them. I got them all set up right here. We got the Plague Doctor for the AMES 85, the Scourge, the Unrepentant, the Brainstorm, and the Mind's Eye Knife on all of those, and yeah, just not letting me choose it. But once we get into like another match, actually, I don't know if I'm gonna do it in another match or if I'm gonna do it in the training course, because I haven't actually done the training course yet, so I don't know if you can use like custom loadouts in there. I'm hoping you can. If you can, then that would definitely make it easier for me, because I just want to show off like the weapon inspects and stuff like that, and just kind of show off what the weapons look and sound like, because they are pretty rad. But yeah, from the very little sliver that we have of the game so far, which is all that the beta is really supposed to be, you know, it's fantastic. I haven't really experienced any major issues in terms of performance, graphical issues, you know, like game-breaking glitches. Sure, we have a very slight glitch right here where it isn't letting me choose my classes, but if I'm gonna be honest, I've already put almost 10 hours into this beta, and this is the first time I've experienced this glitch. So it's a very rare thing, and if I'm gonna be honest, this is literally the first glitch that I've experienced. So, I mean, it's just one of those luck of the draw things where, hey, I managed to experience my first glitch while recording the video. But, I mean, seriously, outside of that, again, almost 10 hours of gameplay in this beta so far, and this isn't even like the complete full version of the game. Again, it's just a beta. This is the first glitch I've experienced. I'd say that's pretty good. Hey, look at that. Grotesque in first place. You wouldn't have it any other way. Now, I did unlock a emote for, you know, hitting with some level during the thing, which that we'll get to that when we get to the beta rewards section. But yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so now that we kind of got some gameplay in the video, and I kind of gave just some of my brief thoughts on everything, which you know, just to kind of get the TLDW in case you skipped ahead in the video a little bit, I think that the gameplay in this game is literally perfect. Like, between the movement, the shooting, the score streaks, the progression, the perks, the create a class, the Gunsmith, everything is perfect. And while we're talking about Gunsmith, I should just mention right now that I vastly prefer this Gunsmith compared to Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, even MW 2019, Vanguard, all of that. This is essentially the exact same as Black Ops Cold Wars, which I really felt like was the beautiful in-between between old school Call of Duty create a class and new school, if you want to call it that, Call of Duty create a class or Gunsmith or whatever, to where, yes, it's still like the Gunsmith, where you have more attachments per se, like rather than just having one long barrel, one rapid fire attachment, you have multiple, but each one serves a distinct purpose rather than having, you know, like 20 grips that do the exact same thing. You have one grip that helps with horizontal recoil. You have one that slightly helps with, you know, both vertical and a horizontal recoil. You have one that really helps with vertical recoil. You have one that helps with ADS speed, and you don't have any overlap. In terms of the score streaks, I really like how these are set up as well. Obviously, we only have a few in the game so far, but they don't feel like I'm not trying to dunk on Modern Warfare here. I know I've been drawing a lot of comparisons, but the one thing I haven't really liked about some of the recent Modern Warfare games, or just one of the things that kind of irks me, I guess, is how weak the score streaks are, considering how much work you have to put in to get them. Because, well, sure, you know, working, you know, 8 to 11 kills to get like an Overwatch Hilo in Modern Warfare 3 doesn't sound that bad, and it really isn't that bad when you factor in the fact that SBMM exists, which means it's just automatically just a little bit harder to get streaks in these more recent games compared to back in the day. But also, once you do put the work in and get them, they're pretty easy to destroy. You know, I'm not asking for them to be, you know, these indestructible beasts that fly through the sky and get me automatic nukes for free while I AFK. No, it doesn't need to be anything like that, but I just wish that they weren't so easy to destroy, considering the amount of work you need to, you know, put in to get them in the first place. You know, I feel like if they could go back to how things were back during, like, Black Ops 2, heck, even in like Black Ops 3 or Infinite Warfare, where the streaks, you know, stayed for a bit longer. I feel like the last game that really executed that well through and through would have been like Black Ops 4, because even Black Ops Cold War kind of had that situation where you could go up and just hit a sentry turret in the back twice and it would be destroyed, and it was like, alright man, I had to put all the work in to get that, and that's all it takes to destroy it. Like, really? Also, if you haven't noticed, the main operator that I've been rocking in-game and also in the menu is Park. How do I put this lightly? I have a crush on Park. I mean, just look at this girl. I mean, okay, look, there's something that I have for badass girls with badass gear that kick ass. Safe to say this girl is checking all the boxes for me, and there's also another operator on the Crimson 1 side. Her name is Bailey, and she's a blonde, and, you know, I kind of also have a thing for blondes, so I'm just gonna stop myself there. Anyway, now let's go ahead and go over all of the beta unlockable. So if we come over here to the progression, actually, they have it all laid out quite nicely, so we can just kind of go through this. I'm not gonna go through, like, every single weapon and such that you unlock, but I mean, like, I guess I'll kind of, like, briefly touch over it. The main thing I want to go over is just, like, the beta rewards. So at level 2, you unlock the beta tester emblem, and then we go up here to level 6, and you unlock the beta tag spray, and then we got to go up to level 11, at which point you'll unlock the no bugs charm, and then at level 15, you'll unlock the quick draw emote, which we just showed off during the winner circle at the end of that match that we played. And then at level 20, you unlock the Squash West Point skin, and during the first weekend only for reaching level 20, you will unlock the Squish skin, and they're essentially the same thing, but we'll go over here to the operators. It is for the Rogue Black Ops side. Again, the Operator West Point. You go ahead and click A to look at the skins. This one is Squash, which you can unlock, again, by reaching level 20 during either Weekend 1 or Weekend 2, but during Weekend 1 only for reaching level 20, you can unlock Squish, which obviously, you know, I would say that this one, in my personal opinion, looks a little better, looks a little more flashy. They're both good skins, but again, it's just Squish. I'm really digging that one. For anybody curious, here's what it looks like when Squish is walking through the menu here, and yeah, I really like the whole, like, bug eyes with the gas mask and everything. Like, yeah, it looks really cool. And then we have all the fun stuff that you unlock for pre-ordering the Vault Edition of the game. So first, we'll go over the Operator skins. We have this skin here for Adler, and I don't even know how to describe it. You kind of have, like, the animated flowing orange things going through the arms up to the shoulder plates there, so that looks really cool, and you can obviously see that in game as you're running around. It's also got a very light, like, black cell type haze coming off the shoulder pads and some of the arm pieces there, so that looks pretty cool. Obviously, his mask looks really rad. It's going for the whole black and orange Black Ops theme, which I always loved that color scheme with the Black Ops games. And then we have Park, which you already discussed. I have a massive crush on her. She is an absolutely gorgeous human being. And then over here on the Crimson 1 side, we have Brutus, which, yes, this is the one and only Brutus, and it looks so rad with the lightning, like, kind of, like, flowing up through him at all points. Like, it's really cool, especially in games. You can see that lightning, like, going through the chains and such on his wrist, so that looks really cool. And then we have Klaus, which is, like, yeah, what do you want to call it? Like, an instant classic from Black Ops Cold War. Everybody fell in love with this character as soon as he was introduced in Mauer Toten, myself included, so it was really cool to see them acknowledge him here like this and include him as a Vault Edition skin, and he's super cool in game. He's also got some cool, like, animated stuff going through his hands, and he has a bunch of fun quotes. Same thing with Brutus. Like, oh my gosh, Brutus's quotes literally made me laugh out loud, and it was almost at a point of being a detriment to my gameplay at one point, because I was laughing so hard that I was like, you know, I'm Asian as is, so it's hard enough for me to keep my eyes open when I'm laughing, just forget it. But he'll be running around with, like, you know, real gravelly, grumbly voice of like, I said no talking. It's too much. Now, it is also worth noting that this isn't everything that you're going to get with the Vault Edition. There's even more stuff that's going to be unlocked once the game fully releases, between camos and the Black Cell Season 1 Battle Pass and the Gobblegum Pack, and there's going to be, like, a bunch of other stuff that they said that they didn't even announce yet in terms of pre-order bonuses that they'll be giving us at some point. Alright, so now I would like to take us into the training course. Oh, Avalon. Okay, so this actually is a map that isn't included in the beta. So, during the beta, another thing that I guess is also worth mentioning is that there is 3 maps available to us currently, those being Derelict, Scud, and Skyline, and I also just realized that I cannot use my custom classes in the training course, so we're gonna have to go into another game. I really wish they had a firing range in this beta. I don't believe they do. Yeah, there's no option for a firing range of any kind, which is really unfortunate. I really feel like they should have had that in here, but anyway, yeah, you can see some of these Black Cell variants in here, but just looking at the menus isn't enough because each one of these weapons have unique inspect animations. And it's pretty cool because it's not just like a normal inspect animation for the weapon, except it looks a little different because you're rocking a blueprint. Like, no, like, these specific blueprints for these weapons that you get for pre-ordering the Vault Edition have entirely new animations. Like, they're completely separate from the base weapon inspect animations, which, you know, obviously makes it worth showing off. Alright, so here we are on the map Scud. I actually really like this map. We're not going to be staying for the entire match just because, you know, I just want to show off some of the blueprints and stuff like that. So first things first, we will start off with the Plague Doctor. So I'll just kind of be quiet and let these go because they do have some fun sounds and stuff to them. Hopefully people don't mess with us or try to kill us, but go ahead and inspect it. To inspect in this game, you have to hold the left arrow and then you click A on the weapon inspect thing. So yeah, that one's pretty cool. And then yeah, I do have the Mind's Eye knife here. So this is the second weapon inspect. So yeah, that one's pretty cool. If you guys have played the game High on Life before, it reminds me of like the knife in that game. But anyways, I think we found a safe place over here, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to inspect the Scourge. Hopefully we don't die. So yeah, that one's really sick. And then we have the Unrepentant right here. Hopefully I don't die while I do this. Absolutely insane. I love it. And then it seems like we're starting to get shot at, so we're gonna relocate a bit here. Am I able to swap over to the final? What? Yes, I can. That's awesome. They it seems like they've extended the time in which you're allowed to switch classes after respawning as long as you haven't shot a bullet. Listen, pal, I am trying to do something, but you know, nobody cares. And then finally we have the Brainstorm Blueprint. I love that final, just like flicking off the final icicle. But yeah, those are all of the blueprint inspect animations for the weapons that you get with the Vault edition of Black Ops 6. Outside of that, I believe that covers everything that I wanted to talk about and address or cover in this video, between the unlocks and the Vault edition stuff and the actual gameplay. So yeah, I think that's where we'll call it there for our first official video on Black Ops 6 or the Black Ops 6 beta. I gotta keep reminding myself, this isn't Black Ops 6 yet. This is just the beta, and we're still almost 2 months away from the full game releasing. Needless to say, I am very, very excited for this game, and yeah, it's at the point where even though I'm max rank in the beta and I've leveled up a bunch of weapons and stuff, I've still just been playing the game just for fun at this point, because I'm genuinely in love with it. Like, I feel like a kid again. Y'all remember back in the day where, like, even on like Black Ops 2, for example, I remember I hit Master Prestige, and then me and my friends, we still, you know, we were all at Master Prestige, and we just kept grinding the game, just kept playing, just because it was just fun. That's literally where I'm at with Black Ops 6 right now. Like, obviously, it's just a beta. Level 20 is the only, like, that's the max level you can go to. That's not that high. It doesn't take that long to reach, but I'm still just playing the game for fun. Like, again, I literally just feel like a kid again. The title wasn't clickbait. Like, honestly, this beta is perfect. Sure, there's, like, a few small glitches that they'll probably have to iron out, like the, you know, choosing a class thing, which, again, was the first time that had happened to me in literally 10 hours of playing this beta so far, and not even just that, that was literally, like, the first glitch, period, that I encountered, so all in all, like, this is pretty well polished for a beta. All I could say is that October 25th needs to hurry up and get here ASAP. But anyway, as always, mass shout out, thank you to all the Patreons and channel members, thank you to all the low ball tier, and make shout out, thank you to all the big ball tier, my last game with the animated bitch that on D tier, run events, and let's cheese go. Thank you guys so much, guys are literal legends. I love you. Thank you guys for watching, have an amazing day, stay beautiful, I love you all. Peace.